Hey there, welcome back to another Delphox Collectibles video. Tonight I'm going to be popping through my starting lineup collection. Starting lineups were football figurines that came out in the 80s and were very popular through the 1990s and kind of ended in the early 2000s. These were figurines that my dad had collected for me mostly, and I've picked up a few along the way myself of some players I really enjoy. So gonna go through these. We had these all packaged for years. They're not worth a whole lot, but they are still really fun and have a lot of memories tied up in them. And I saw the box sitting in my basement. I thought, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go through these. So I'll put these out every once in a while in my house here, but here, we'll just pop right through them. I got a Peyton Manning figure, a very early Peyton Manning. We've got Earl Campbell. This is an interesting one because his helmet is like way too small for his afro, but really cool. Really cool with the Oilers colors there. We got my main man Ricky. Got to dive in for the goal line. Even got the dreads on him. So these are cool little. I mean, obviously they're not as detailed as like McFarlane, but they were the precursor to McFarlane. We got Fred Taylor. But they were cool. They were fun. They mass-produced these, so you can find most starting lineups for dirt cheap. I just picked up a ton. I showed off in a video for, I think he gave them to me for $1 a piece. We got the bus. The earlier starting lineups are more money. And some of the basketball, like Jordan, worth money. We got here Isaac Bruce. Pretty sweet. One of my all-time favorite players in the Freak, Javon. Another diving one, and they would oftentimes reuse these poses. So, you know, you got the same pose here, Fred Taylor again. Maybe I'll try and keep the poses together here the best I can. Here we've got a Herb Adderley. This is a fun one if you're a Packer fan. Herb Adderley, I think he came with Deion Sanders, Eddie George for the Titans, Eddie George figure there. One of my father-in-law's favorite players, and Dan Marino handing off the football there. Really, I like the colors of that. Quite fond of teal. We have Marshall Faulk in the old Rams unis. Kind of looks more like today's unis. I'm actually watching the Rams play the Dolphins right now. We have a Barry Sanders. That one I thought looks really a lot like Barry, actually. Another one of my guy, Ricky Williams. Jerry, probably the best receiver, I should say the best receiver in NFL history. And the guy who threw him a lot of his passes, and Joe Montana. Another guy, the lefty, Steve Young, threw him a ton of passes. And there he is again, kind of in an older uni here. Big catch, Jerry. Super cool starting lineup there. Got another Peyton Manning, and they almost look identical, except one is a big base and one doesn't. So they're almost identical, but not quite. My dad got those back in the day. Even when Peyton was stinking it up, he believed. Good for him. Another Marshall, but for the Colts. I picked this one up for like $1. Super fun little Colts figure there. We got another Ricky Williams. We get it, pal. You like Ricky Williams? I do. I have all the Rickies you can have. Dwight Clark. Another Niner. But the Niners were good when they were making these, so there's a lot of them. We got a John Elway. Another one where the head's just a touch big, but John Elway. Another Steve Young here. Rushing the ball this time, which he was also very good at. If you watched, I've seen him clips. I was a little too young to watch him live. Ken Stabler. I think this is the player that I just read an article about, the biggest, kind of the biggest scam in NFL history, Ken Stabler. Can't remember if it was Stabler. I don't think it was Plunkett, but I think it was Stabler. Kind of. It's not as good as his accolades seem to think he is. Corey Dillon for the Bengals, really cool. I like the little Bengal helmet there. And so yeah, these little cheap little figures, but they're just so much fun to look at. We got a college version here of Terrell Davis helmet, and then this one, the helmet's a little too small. I wish I could substitute that out, but you cannot. John Randall, this one's cool because he's a down lineman. John Randall for the Vikings. Drew Bledsoe. I like the jersey on that one, really neat. Oop. Hey look, it's another diver in Mike Allstott. Cool Buccaneers uni with the towel waving. They got a little more detail as the years went on. Jack Lambert. I always like this one. Just tough with the neck, neck shield. And Curtis Martin here. Curtis Martin being an absolute beast. Always have kind of been a Curtis Martin fan, but again, here you got some of these of the same. They just would remold these and put a different coat of paint on them and mass produce them, and mass produce they did, and that's why they're not worth a ton. We got I lost his helmet. I don't know where the helmet is. We got a Ronnie Lott here. Helmet's in there somewhere, so we'll leave him off to the side. Ronnie Lott for the Raiders, let me mention, which kind of interesting. Typically you think of him as a Niner. And Antoine Smith, kind of an interesting Bills figure there. Got a short span there. Hey, look at another one of those crouching ones, but Warrick Dunn. Shout out to my buddy Abel. Big Warrick Dunn fan. Another Eddie George. I actually have always really liked Eddie George, so Eddie George and the Oilers. Super cool. Raymond Berry. Raymond Berry came with Johnny U, I think. I don't know where the Johnny U is, but he's in here. And another Colt here. We've got Edge. Edgerrin James. For whatever reason, TD's helmets do not stay on his head mold. But there he is, Terrell Davis. And someday, my kid wants to goof around with these, I'm going to be like, go for it, man. This is one I played with as a kid because his stand got kicked out of his behind. But we got Antonio Freeman. I also have this in the box in my basement. We also got a Dorsey. My dad bought tons of these growing up, and so I had a bunch of these laying around. Another Dan Marino. This time in the home uniform. Or maybe away, however you want to think about it. We've got here a Jake the Snake Plumber in the old-fashioned Cardinal unis, which are kind of cool to look at. Another Joe Montana. Touchdown. This is the one that came with the Dwight Clark here. They came together. And we got the same pose for his successor in Steve Young. Both of them threw a lot of tutties. A lot of touchdowns for both those guys. Christian McCaffrey's dad and Ed McCaffrey. Really cool pose there. Got the whole Bronco offense outside of Shannon. Hey, would you look at that? We found the helmet for old Ronnie Lott. So there we go. Goes right on him. He's playing some good defense. We got Jack Ham. The Steeler ones are just so tough to me. I guess I didn't remember Jack Ham wearing gloves in the pictures I'm used to, but I guess he did. A Yale version of Steve Young. My dad, being a big Steve Young fan, really likes him. A lot of these quarterbacks he likes to collect. I don't know where his helmet went, but this is the Deion. Here's a Deion Sanders. I like the do-rag. Fun to look at there. And John Elway. And the John Elway from my childhood. You could see that one was played with and out and about. I played with this one a lot. This one was in the package. This one was not. It's an older John Elway I got from my cousin Luke Logan and Levi. We traded. They gave me that for, I don't remember what I traded them, but their mom was not happy at the time. Dave Casper. He goes with the it's not Plunkett, it's Ken Stabler. Yeah. Here's another one of the ones. I actually always used this Troy Aikman as a lineman, because he could do this pose. Gosh, I can't grab him. He could do that pose. So he was a lineman when I'd play, and he'd go after and tackle. Big shoulder pads there. He'd go after and tackle Elway a lot for me. Another TD, and would you look at that, the helmet. I don't know what they did with this head sculpt, but he just cannot keep a helmet on. Jamal Anderson, this one is nice. This is my favorite uniform in NFL history, is like the black on black Falcons uniform. Outside of the Packers, but that is with the silver pants. That is gnarly. Love, love, love that jersey. Andre Rison went on to be a Packer and lots of teams. He played for lots of teams, but here's him for the Chiefs. We got a Jim Harbaugh, coach of the Chargers, playing for Michigan. We've got here, nope, Emmitt Smith. I got a couple Emmitt Smiths here where the helmets are kind of off, but they're both Emmitt Smith. And I found the cowboy helmet, so Emmitt Smith and Emmitt Smith. I don't know why his hand is up. It's kind of a weird pose. I wonder if it's supposed to be like out, or I don't know. It's a weird pose. I don't know why would you choose that? But there he is for the Florida Gators. I don't know where that helmet went. There's a couple stragglers. My brother-in-law's guy, Mark Brunell. Shout out Andrew. And the touchdown pose. Oh, here it is. I'm getting kind of jostled around here. There is the Gators helmet. So, cool. We got another Harbaugh here. I had one Harbaugh in the package and then one I had out as a kid. So a couple Harbaughs, and then we actually have this Jim Harbaugh as well. This Jim Harbaugh for almost looks like his brother for the Ravens there. Old school Ravens. We got a Jake the Snake for Arizona State. That is a fun figure. Arizona State helmet is really cool. So, enjoy that. This one you can see it's glued. It's supposed to be hands up, but again, my dad glued it for me because his arm broke. And this Lawrence Taylor, he was a lineman. He would sack people. You could see I had him in the sun quite a bit playing with him, so he definitely got some time outside. This one too. I wonder if he got played with. How long? I had a lot of defensive players that I primarily played with. I had a few that were open that my dad let me play, goof around with. Good memories. Johnny U, there he is. And he doesn't stay up. Johnny just likes to get sacked, I guess. He doesn't want to stay up and hang out with everyone. That's toughy with that one. I wonder if I goofed around with this one a little bit, huh? I think so. The Randall Cunningham was one that I played with a lot as a kid. We got Hardy Nickerson. Hardy Nickerson is a Packer as well. We've got here the Nigerian Nightmare in Christian Okoye. Super beast. This McFarland, the starting lineup does nothing to show his real size, so bummer there. They made him so skinny. Here is the Dion that came with my Herb Adderley. The helmet does not fit well here with the do-rag that he's got on, the little hat. But here we go. Here we've got Jake the Snake again. He was an up-and-coming guy that my dad bought a couple figures of. I think that KB Toys had these like on a big sale, and he just went nuts. Another Oilers, Eddie George. Oh, I don't remember this guy's first name. Oh, it's going to kill me. It's like the first guy I'm missing on, because I bought this for like $3 at a store here in Appleton that is now closed, called Scooter G's. But a lot of people they're gonna know that name. He was a very underrated all-time linebacker. He's kind of considered to be a criminally underrated player. Oh, I don't remember his name, and I'm using my phone to record. A diver in Emmitt Smith, if you like Emmitt. Yeah, there's that awesome Dirty Birds jersey here, but in Andre Rison. So the cool helmet and the pants and the silver pants, I love it. And you wonder if my dad likes Steve Young. There he is, Steve Young, making a killing. Joe Namath for Alabama. It's kind of a fun one. And for Andrew, Mark Brunell. I think I ended up giving him a Mark Brunell figure that I found in here too, because I had a couple. So, and then we have here Deion Sanders again. All for the Cowboys. I'm surprised by that. Ozzie Newsome finally got a Cleveland Brown here to make a showing. Ozzie Newsome. We've got Warren Moon for the Oilers. Really cool. Kind of like Warren Moon. He was pretty awesome. A diver. And Stephen Davis for the Washington Commanders. The Redskins. And then my really played with Jim Harbaugh. So that is all I have to show for these this evening. Oh, here is Dorsey with the helmet on. Go Dorsey, underrated Packer running back. Let's just take a scan back here. So I just about fell out of my chair. But yeah, love the starting lineups. They look so fun when they're all put together. It's so chaotic and fun, and I've always enjoyed these. Right now they're in a bin, but someday I hope my son will get a kick out of them and maybe play with them. Like I said, they're not worth much, and they're a good way for him to learn the players. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, may the Lord bless you, and have a good one.